This woman, Jasmine Crockett, I've already told Lana when she's on the show, she's on with me on Tuesday nights live, and I hope you join me on Tuesday nights live on Black and White with Brian Rundle and Lana Quest. But she knows my love for Jasmine Crockett. In fact, today she sent me a text showing that Jasmine Crockett, she followed her a few weeks ago and then retweeted one of her tweets, and she's trying to make me jealous. And it's working. But Jasmine Crockett was in another one of these absurd, ridiculous House committee meetings where people are getting grilled and asked questions. And I have a couple of clips from her in the meetings today. This one is pretty much putting Donald Trump in his place and letting people know that there is a woman in this race that he definitely needs to be scared of.
You know what? This hearing is actually the best example of what waste, fraud, and abuse looks like, because the only reason we're having this hearing is because somebody got their feelings hurt in a debate. And I don't understand why we're wasting taxpayer dollars. Next time, tell your big boy to show up and be ready to handle the woman in the room who hopefully will become the next president of the United States.
There's absolutely no question Jasmine Crockett, first of all, she's extremely intelligent. She knows what she's doing to these people. She's doing it on purpose. She is hitting the people in that room with words that she knows is going to drive them crazy. And yeah, there's a big part of that where she knows that being a Black woman and saying it with a confidence and an attitude is really going to drive them crazy. And what I love about that is that she has a I don't give a fuck attitude. One, I know who I am as a Black woman. I know who I am as somebody that sits in this chamber and why I was elected to this office. And to me, that is just fucking badass. I love every second of that. I love the attitude behind it. I love the just the hitting words, just to say, look, motherfuckers, you've been doing this for years. And unfortunately, my side has kind of sat back and taken it. But guess what? There are new sheriffs in town, and I'm fucking one of them. And I ain't putting up with your bullshit. And I am going to I'm going to let you know exactly how I feel. But this is her. Also, this is something that I enjoyed because Donald Trump and a lot of the right-wing media like to separate Donald Trump from Project 2025 because Project 2025 has now gotten out into the mainstream. People know what this is now. So she does a great job here of associating Donald Trump with Project 2025 with one of the witnesses.
Or no? Is Trump's name ever mentioned in Project 2025? Yes or no? Just yes or no. I got you.
Within the document itself,
yes.
There are a number of references to the former administration.
So is Trump's name mentioned just one time?
I believe it's mentioned more.
Okay. 5 times.
I haven't counted.
Oh, okay. Well, if I told you that his name is mentioned approximately 312 times, would you have any reason to dispute that?
I don't have any reason.
Okay, thank you very much. So it's interesting that we want to try to pretend. We're not going to pretend in here. We're going to work with facts.
Again, just this is great setup. And again, she's not the only one either. There's a lot of people in that chamber in the House that do a phenomenal job. I mean, Jamie Raskin, Jesus, damn it. I was going to sit here and list off a bunch of people and I can't. Jared Moskowitz. There's a lot of them in there that do a phenomenal job, but she is an absolute superstar. And I think this is my favorite clip out of all of them, where she takes down one of the people that are in there. And let's let the clip play and then we'll discuss it afterwards. Come on.
have seen limited success because many companies who committed to providing broadband went into default after radically underestimating their cost. It doesn't say anything about diversity. And the final thing that I will say is that this election, I didn't ask you a question. The final thing that I will say is that this election is the best example of why y'all are so afraid of diversity, equity, and inclusion, because then you can't have a simple-minded, underqualified white man somehow end up ascending. Instead, you've got to pay attention to the qualified black woman that is on the other side. And with that, I will yield.
You know, I gotten this a lot when I talk to people in my life that are on the opposite side. I bring up to them about the angry white male. And what I get back a lot is, last time I checked, aren't you white? And aren't you male? And I'm like, yeah, I'm a white male, but I'm not an angry white male. And that's why when I hear Jasmine Crockett say something in a derogatory sense against white men, I know she's not talking about me. She's talking about these people that don't like her. She's talking about the people who don't like her because of her race. And yeah, I know people are out there like, everything's got to be about race. Everything's got to be about race. I've been around enough white people in my life to know how they feel about black people, whether they say it or they don't say it. It's very simple to detect the difference between the white men who can look at Jasmine Crockett or look at Lana Quest when she's on my show and listen to her and understand what she's saying about her community and what has happened, and understand and be able to listen and learn. I can also tell you that because I listen and I learn, I can talk to Lana. And if I have a disagreement about anything with what she has to say, I think she would understand that it comes from a place that is good and not from something that's evil. But I will also say, Lana and I have almost no disagreements. I listen. I understand where people come from sometimes when I'm not in their shoes. If I'm not in their shoes, to be able to just sit back, listen, and understand what they're saying is probably one of the strongest things you can do as a human being. But to deflect it and to downplay it and to say something like, oh, here you go using the race card again, to me demeans other human beings. Does it mean that anytime a black person brings up something about race, that they're 100% always right? Nope. I will guarantee you that Jasmine Crockett, that Lana Quest, and many other black people would suggest the same thing, that no, you're not right. You're not going to just bring up race. Everything has circumstances, and every individual situation is different. But the totality of things is what we're looking at here. And in the totality of things, that when somebody that is in a marginalized community has something to say that bothers them, if there's enough evidence to suggest otherwise, then it is okay to listen. It is okay to accept, and it is okay to say, you know what? Anybody that rails against this, I'm against it. And in these situations, I have to be against a lot of the people in my race, in my gender, that for some reason have these feelings that they just can't accept, that there is an injustice against somebody that doesn't look and sound like they do. It's not that hard. And really, quite frankly, it makes life a little bit easier because you're less angry. Maybe not, because unfortunately, I get angry at people who just can't accept this. And it just is, it's, again, I don't understand it. But anyway, that's Jasmine Crockett. And I really do. She's just really, really good. I think she's good. And I think at some point she is going to have a major, major, major political career.